It is called professional wrestling. First and foremost, and before anything else that you want to call it, it is professional wrestling, not sports entertainment. One of my biggest pet peeves in professional wrestling, the business, the industry, is the old man in Stamford, Connecticut, the leader of WWE, not allowing any of his employees or anybody under his thumbs, not allowing them to use the words professional wrestling, because those are dirty words. Sinful words. How dare you use the words professional wrestling? By God, just as true as Roman is the golden boy, it is sports entertainment. To hell with that, to hell with that, Vince McMahon. It is professional wrestling. And as long as I have a voice in the community, and as long as people are listening to those words, you will hear me call this industry, this business, that company, professional wrestling. Because it has gotten to a point. It has gotten to the point where now the story that is being told on our screens is just sounding silly, sounding stupid, because you're trying to replace the words pro wrestling. I'm going to give you guys a prime example of that from just last night's Elimination Chamber. But first, where are my manners? Allow me to introduce myself. I am BC Amplified. And you guys have made it loud and clear, especially you, Monique. You set off a firestorm in last night's Elimination Chamber, man. Everybody misses the Amplified man's face. I'm humbled. I didn't think anybody wanted to see my mug. But it appears that a lot of you guys like to see me talking about these topics, and that I greatly appreciate that. I really do. Again, I've been extremely busy as of late. You guys know that, and I thank you guys for your support. But I didn't want to not create content. I couldn't do the whole setup and the lighting and actually get in front of a camera too much recently. So I was giving you guys audio only, basically podcast format, right? If you're taking a jog, if you're working, if you're on a long car ride, a long Starbucks line you're in the middle of, traffic, whatever. It's perfect for you guys. Because I wanted to at least give you guys content, even though I couldn't be face to camera with you guys. And thankfully you guys are enjoying it, because I'm trying to give you guys the utmost amplification. You're not getting any less amplification. In fact, because it's audio only and I'm free to roam, especially when I'm in a car, you guys have seen those videos. When I'm in a car, forget about it. We are getting fully amplified. And our rant doesn't do it justice. We're totally flipping out. So in most cases, because it's audio only, you're getting double the amplification and then some. But I wanted to make sure, man, because I did put out that review for Elimination Chamber. It went live last night, just before 1 a.m. I got to bed around 4 a.m. It's just after 7 a.m. And I wanted to make sure that you guys get to see my face, because a lot of you guys have been asking, hey, BC, we miss you. So this is a big thank you to you guys. I really don't even have the time right now. I do have to head out. But this is one of those scenarios where you guys come first. So I definitely want to thank you guys again for reaching out and saying you miss seeing the Amplified man's face. That really does mean a lot. And I'm glad that I can at least get these audio podcast formatted vids out to you guys. Because it really is a situation where it's that or nothing at all. I don't regret at all taking on more business, because it's fun. You know, it's fun to push your boundaries and see how much I can actually handle. But, you know, it does get stressful at times, and with stress comes anger and frustration. And as you guys can tell in those audio formatted videos, especially when I'm in the car, I'm pretty much projecting that frustration and anger onto the WWE product. But don't worry, they deserve every bit of it for what they've been giving us the last several years. So no harm, no foul. But I have taken on a lot, guys, and I'm just glad that you guys understand that it's that or nothing, and I love talking pro wrestling, especially with you guys. So not creating content is not an option. So it's not just that I'm choosing, I'm just not going to get in front of the camera today. Trust me, guys, it's much easier for me while making that video to roam, to be out, to be doing my other business while at the same time cutting these vids. Hopefully that makes sense and hopefully you guys understand. By the looks of it, you guys totally understand, and I'm glad you're loving the content because I make sure that when it's just audio only, you're getting full amplification. So thank you guys again. Now, back to the subject matter at hand. Again, I don't have a lot of time, obviously, but I wanted to talk about something that has perturbed me for the longest time. And last night, even though it may seem minuscule, very small to a lot of you guys, most of you probably didn't even notice, there's just a couple of times where these employees, these pro wrestlers, anybody under the thumb of Vince McMahon, they say the word sports entertainment and it just sounds goofy as hell. It actually puts his talent in a weird predicament because it doesn't flow with what they're trying to say. I'm going to give you a small example. This is during Daniel Bryan and Drew Gulak's match. And this is Michael Cole. And he's describing Drew Gulak talking to him earlier in the day and talking about when he was growing up in pro wrestling. But Michael Cole has to fit the words sports entertainment in there. And listen to how silly this sounds, please.
Drew Gulak told me earlier today that when he was a young man growing up in the sports entertainment business, they aspired to carry tape.
Did you hear that? Drew Gulak told me earlier today that when he was a young man growing up in the sports entertainment business. I laugh in straight sorrow. How easy would it have been, and how much easier would it have flowed if he just said, Drew Gulak told me earlier when he was a young man growing up in the pro wrestling world. Call it what it is, man. Michael Cole is stuttering 6 times. Why? Because he knows he has to take out pro wrestling and insert somehow sports entertainment. Like somebody like Drew Gulak would have a conversation with Cole in the back earlier in the day and tell Cole, yeah, when I was growing up in sports entertainment, I wanted to be like Daniel Bryan. Yeah, Drew Gulak, a pro wrestler to his caliber, is going to say, when I was growing up in sports entertainment. You can say BC, it's what Cole is being told to say. Trust me, I know this is coming from the old man in Stanford. My issue is, with stories like that, it brings them down 10 notches. It literally knocks off any significance in the story because nobody is putting Drew Gulak into the sports entertainment category. And when your own commentator has to stutter because he has to find out a way to insert the words Drew Gulak talking about sports entertainment, I caught that. Not many people, if anybody else, caught that or even cared about it. I did care about it. I do care about it. It's got Michael Cole shaken up still to this day that he can't use the words pro wrestling. Just picture what it has for talents like Drew Gulak. And you don't have to wonder how shaken up it has talents like poor Drew Gulak, because after the match with Daniel Bryan last night, he cut a backstage interview. And you saw how shaken up he is about using the word sports entertainment. The poor guy just wants to wrestle and use the words pro wrestling. But he cut a backstage interview and you hear him stuttering before he says the words pro wrestling because he knows he's not supposed to say it, but he doesn't know any other way to say or convey what he wants to say. He knows that if he uses the word sports entertainment, it doesn't flow naturally. It doesn't fit. And then he knows he's probably going to be in trouble. Probably sees the fucking interviewer's face or something. Oh, you said the dreaded words. So then he has to say sports entertainment immediately after. Listen to this. This is Drew Gulak backstage interview.
On my off day, I go to a pro wrestling competition. That's where I go on my off day. I see more sports entertainment. in my off day. Guys,
you hear the poor guy? On my off day, I go to he knows what, he goes to a pro wrestling clinic, but he can't say it. So the poor guy is stuttering because he's like, uh-oh, I'm going to get in trouble. And then after he says pro wrestling, he says, I see more sports entertainment in a day than most do in weeks, or whatever the fuck he said. He had to say sports entertainment immediately after to correct himself. These guys can't even be themselves because they're trained like dogs to say certain words. You wonder why merchandise is down and asses aren't coming to the arenas? You wonder why ratings are down, stagnant, not going up, they're going in the opposite way. You wonder, but the facts are sitting right in your lap. You shouldn't be shocked. When the fucking owner of one of the biggest companies, if not the biggest company in the pro wrestling world, won't even let his people use the words professional wrestling, that's the beginning of the end. That is the beginning of a downward spiral, and we've been seeing that downward spiral for years. Michael Cole stuttering because he has to try to fit in sports entertainment, not pro wrestling. Drew Gulak stuttering because he has to use sports entertainment, not pro wrestling. Wrestlers getting in trouble if they use the words professional wrestling. That's why when Mox, during AEW Dynamite this past Wednesday in the opening segment, and he said, we brought professional wrestling back, I couldn't have been more proud, man. I was so whether you love AEW or can't stand it, how could you not be proud of Mox for shouting those words out with such passion? We brought pro wrestling back. The point of this video is especially for those younger fans out there, never be afraid to use the words professional wrestling. The old man in Stamford has no control over you, and you're not dumb like he would like you to be. Use the words professional wrestling. Sports entertainment can be a phrase that describes it, but it should always be secondary. It should not be the go-to. I can't even say at the core of what this business is, it is pro wrestling. I can't even say at the heart of what this business is, it is pro wrestling. It just is what it is. To say it's the core or the foundation or the heart would mean that we have to dig deep into what it truly is. We don't have to dig deep into pro wrestling. The business is literally called pro wrestling. And just because this dipshit in Stamford wants to be Mr. Hollywood, he wants to create all these larger-than-life Hollywood stars, doesn't mean we get it twisted. As long as I have a voice in this community and a channel on this platform, and as long as people are listening to those words, it is professional wrestling. And I think every now and again, as simplistic as this topic may be, every now and again, we have to remind ourselves, especially today's younger pro wrestling fans, not sports entertainment fans. We have to remind them it's okay to use. Not just okay, but it's the right way to use the terminology when talking about this business. It's called professional wrestling. No ifs, ands, or buts. It's been like that from day one. And the old man will not ruin that or change that. He may have control in his company. He does not have control of the business. Drew Gulak grew up watching pro wrestling. Drew Gulak is a pro wrestler. You can't change facts. They're facts because there's levels of truth that cannot be reversed. Deal with it, old man. I'm the Amplified Man. Thank you guys for joining me for this little impromptu, short but sweet video. And before I forget, I almost ended the vid a little prematurely. With spring on the horizon, I felt it was a good time to remind you guys, the hoodies are still up for sale down below. So no matter where you are in the world during spring, whether the weather is 40 degrees, 50 degrees, 60 degrees, these hoodies are all you need. They're not heavy at all, but they're warm and comfortable as fuck. So these will get you through any day, any temperature. Even if you just want to cuddle up at home, these hoodies are all you need, guys. And of course, all the other merch too, all the Think Be Live line, the Energizer, Put 'em Up shirts, that's down below as well. And my newest one, which I absolutely love, it's a family saying in my La Familia from my grandfather. He used to tell people this. He told this one particular dude in a bar room who just really annoyed him. He just said, "Please stop talking. I don't like you." And that story just resonated throughout my La Familia for years and years. I decided to share that with you guys. That shirt is selling so fast and furious. That's easily my fastest selling shirt. Not my grandest selling. That would be this guy back here. But that "Please Stop Talking" shirt, even before it was approved by the Tube, that sold over 50 in just 3 weeks. Just last week, the Tube finally approved it because they thought it was too mean for a long time. So I had to dispute that. And the "Please Stop Talking" shirt is finally for sale down below as of last week. So thankfully, the Tube is allowing that to, you guys can just press that. That'll take you right over to Teespring. So thank you guys so much for all the support and for gathering up your merchandise. But I did want to remind you that the hoodie is available for spring 2020. I still have that up. The beanie, I know you guys want, that's just for me. I have to have a little bit of my own fun, right? I had to make something just for me, yours truly. So I created this beanie. As of now, it's just for me. Maybe in the future I will sell this and put it on the market, guys, but that's not now. But enjoy the hoodie and all the shirts in the meantime. Thanks for joining me for this impromptu. Glad I could come face the camera with you guys, even if just for a short amount of time. Until next time, I'll talk to you when I talk to you. Think, be, live, amplify. Yeah.